Morning everyone. So I fitted the Dominator titanium whatever it is exhaust to this bike. Not exactly sure of the model. I'll look it up one day. Very easy to fit. Took only about 10 minutes to remove the original muffler and then reuse some of the fasteners to mount it on there. You can see it's got this steel plate here, which is powder coated black. Looks alright. Could be better, could be longer to cover more of this, but anyway, better than nothing. Otherwise it was a very easy fit. Whole thing probably took me half an hour. Reuse your fasteners, this one here included, but it didn't come with that one down there. So anyway, I had to go and find a bolt in my bolt box, but that's not too bad. It sounds alright. It sounds sort of like the original muffler, but just louder. It sort of has that, obviously it's the same engine, so it sounds very similar, but probably a little bit loud for my liking. But having said that, this is the cheapest one that I could find, mainly because two reasons. This bike is going to be used for adventure riding once I get some other stuff done, and one because I'm a tight ass. But anyway, it fits alright, sounds pretty good, just a little bit loud, that's the only thing. As I say to people, I want to be heard by other traffic, not hated by my neighbours. And pretty much I went with the cheapest one because I've still got to get crash bars and all that sort of stuff to get this thing ready to go off-road. Having said that, I just dropped this thing when I put it on the side stand, it rolled off. So luckily nothing touched the ground, the bark busters did their job, and just I might have bent my gear lever just a tiny bit, but that's alright. I've done that plenty of times on other bikes. I'll just straighten it back out and it'll be fine. Anyway, we'll have a quick listen, and then we'll go for a little ride and you can see what you think. Alright, just make sure, oh, it's not in neutral. Oh, it's in third. Here we go. Right, it's not going to roll again. Right, idling away pretty happily. So as you can see, it sounds pretty good, but it's quite loud. So luckily nobody lives around here, we're in the bush. So anyway, we'll go for a little ride, and you get an idea of what it actually sounds like on the go. Right, there you go. Hopefully that gives you a good idea of what that bike sounds like. So it's pretty loud. I think if you lived in an area where noise was regulated, you probably wouldn't want to use this one. I'm tossing up whether just to use it for adventure stuff and then switch back to the stock muffler for around town, because it does sort of mean you need to control yourself a little bit, because it does make a fair bit of noise when you get into it. So anyway, hopefully that helps, and see you guys later. So if you've made it this far, you're probably interested in getting one of these things, so I thought I'd just show you how easy it is to fit. Doesn't take very long. I'll just pop these couple of screws out. This one here is using the stock screw that was on the bike, and I'll show you where that lives. I'll just leave that in. This one here, I didn't get a screw with that, so I actually had to find one in my bolt box. It's just like a 6mm screw. I just found like a dark coloured one. Could have been black, but anyway, that's all I had. Okay, so with your stock muffler, which is this girl here, let's turn around that way. Right, so obviously that sits there. This here is the exhaust gasket. That's why I'm wearing gloves, because this doesn't look like it's going to be that healthy. That actually sits just here. Alright, so it's all I did was I just used a screwdriver. Actually it goes that way, or no, that way. I used a screwdriver, just a thin one, and just got it in there with a little light tap with a hammer, and then once I got it moving, it just slid off, so that was easy enough. So that's the seal for this here. Alright, so your muffler normally hangs there. You can see the stock bolt, yeah, so that basically sits there like that. Let's put that there. This cover here is just a vanity cover, I guess you'd call it. It also provides a little bit of leg protection, same as this thing here provides a bit of protection for your passenger. So that sits there. So the screw that I pulled out, that sits here, right? And then this basically slides into that little tab here. So it sits like that, okay? So all you do is just pop that screw out, lift this off, that goes, undo this clamp, right? And then undo this top bolt, and then this whole thing will slide off, the stock muffler will slide off. In the kit, you get this speed nut here, right? So all you do is, there's a rubber grommet, that's this grommet here, that normally sits in there, so that's like, what is it? So that sits there, and I think that's probably just a vibration mount or something. But anyway, so that's normally in there, so you just pop that out after you've removed this cover, which is like that. Remove this cover, pop that out, put the speed nut there, and then I'll just repurpose the screw that was in there, put that in here. All right. Sliding this muffler on was okay. It started getting pretty hard to get it to slide further down, because this bracket here, which I'll show you at the back. Oop. So this bracket here has got some Allen keys there, hopefully you can see those, and all I did was I just got everything lined up, then I popped them out one by one, put a bit of red Loctite on them just to make sure they stay in there. This bracket is mounted all the way forward, because there's actually quite a bit of work to get this thing to slide on there. I did spread this out just a tiny bit to get it to line up, but still was quite a bit of work. So luckily I've got a bike lifter, but if you're pushing it on yourself, you might want to put the front wheel up against a wall, or maybe get someone to hold it for you, hold the brake or something. So it took a bit of hoofing to get it on there. And then I just put the clamp on there. I just spun it around. It's just got a screw, Allen head screw there. So basically I just moved it out of the way so it kind of doesn't show up too much. And then this cover just goes on there. And as you can see, you know, it's a bit of a looks a bit pants, this thing, if you ask me. It could have been a better cover, like a bit bigger to cover this section maybe, and it doesn't even cover this clamp, so that's why I sort of rotated around a little bit just so it's sort of not so obvious. But anyway, it is what it is. So basically with this, just needs that bolt, which I now appear to have, oh, here we go, just needs that bolt in here, and then that screw in there. Yep. And all I did then was, once that was on there, I just reused this stock bolt here, and put that back in. So as I was pushing it on there, I just got it lined up just so that this hole on this bracket, I could see that through there, and then that was fine. distance here, this is not going to hit if this swing arm goes full travel, but it's pretty close. So I would recommend, if ever you crash a bike, if you put one of these on, if you ever crash your bike on this side, just make sure that this hasn't slid in there, otherwise you could end up scratching up your nice swing arm. So you might want to just sort of bend it out before you take off again. Anyway, if you've made it this far, congratulations. I hope you're enjoying the bike. I'm really loving it. This thing here is, as I mentioned before, it's quite loud. You can ride along on a very light throttle, and it doesn't seem to make too much noise. I can't really hear it through my helmet, but if you wrap it open, you're definitely hearing it. So just pay attention when you're around town, and if you're you know, around the authorities or your neighbours, because like I said before, I just want the traffic to hear me. I just don't want my neighbours to hate me. So anyway, I'll tighten these couple of things back up, attach these couple of videos together, and I'll let you have a look at it and judge for yourself. Cheers.